Hey guys, welcome back to another interview here on Toned In Entertainment. Today I'm very excited because I'm joined by the Russian Dynamite Masha Slamovich. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I ran into you about a week and a half ago. We were at the Taco Festival in Jacksonville and we had an interview set up, but people don't understand really how crazy things get at these independent shows.
Oh man, it went from 0 to 100 very quickly. It went from me walking around and saying hey to you and doing an interview or two to literally not sitting down for the rest of the day, and it was insane.
Right, because we had talked earlier, we had an interview set up, and you ended up getting thrown into a triple threat match with Layla Gray and Persia Pierce to start off the day. And then you had meet and greets, and then you got thrown into another match with Dasha at the end of the day.
Yes, it was a day of double duty for me, and no complaints. I enjoy those kinds of days. It was a great day overall, aside from the unbearable heat.
Yeah, because we were out at Jacksonville, right at Daly's place, where AEW Dynamite has been taking place for quite some time now, and that heat out there, I mean, you were wrestling as part of Mission Pro Wrestling that day, so it was great to see all the ladies out there representing, giving people a show that, they don't normally get to see down here in Florida, with just the ladies out there killing it, but in that crazy heat out there.
Yeah, I think we all did a fantastic job, and the heat, it was a hurdle, but we got through it. And, after my match, I pretty much just started throwing ice on myself. I'm like, this is one match too many in this Florida weather.
Right. Now, we were at the Taco Festival. Did you get to enjoy any tacos while you were out there?
I did. Gorilla Press was nice enough and wise enough to go get me some tacos, because he knew that there was no way I was going to actually make it out there to adventure by myself. And they were delicious. So I don't know what truck it was, but I recommend it.
Okay, yeah, because, you saw us back there. We were doing the interviews. Then we went to go see Chris Jericho, of course, perform, because, how could you not? Then when we went to go get tacos, the tacos were all gone by the time we got there. So we had no tacos that day, but it's all good because we got to see at least wrestling and Chris Jericho. Did you have an opportunity to see Jericho while you were out there?
I wasn't able to go because, again, I was running around trying to do things. I heard it though, and I have seen Fozzy in the past, so really nothing was lost.
Okay.
I did get a glimpse while I was running by, and it looked really fun.
Right. Now, your nickname is the Russian Dynamite. Are you from Russia, or is your heritage from Russia?
Both of those. My family is just, we're, how some people have different roots in different places. We're just like very Russian, I suppose. The roots go very, very deeply into Russia. Now,
growing up, one of my favorite wrestlers was Nikita Koloff. He was known as the Russian Nightmare, and he used to use the move called the Russian Sickle, which was a clothesline. And I was actually watching your match today with Dasha. I believe it was on Untitled Match Network from that past Saturday. And she hit you with a Russian leg sweep. Do you know why those moves are called Russian?
I don't. I can say, however, though, much like Nikita Koloff's idea, I do have a move called the hammer and the sickle. I do an inverted burning hammer into a low lariat, so that is quite similar. I can't speak on the Russian leg sweep, though, because I don't think I've ever hit that in my entire life, and I'm not even quite sure I know how to do it.
Okay, yeah, it was funny, when you...
I don't know what makes it Russian, and I certainly don't use it.
Right, yeah, that's what I was wondering. I thought if anybody would know, you would know, but again, it's just one of those things, they put the name Russian on there for whatever reason, I guess.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So who were some of your influences to become a professional wrestler?
Originally, when watching wrestling, I wasn't so much drawn in by a specific wrestler. I was just drawn in by wrestling itself. The fighting spirit, I suppose, the stories they told, the will to win. And particularly watching the work of people like Chris Benoit, amongst others, was very influential because, of course, that led me to discover the Dynamite Kid, which is obviously where I get my nickname Russian Dynamite from. And, you can see the inspiration there quite clearly.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that was where the nickname came from. I was watching some of just the way you chain moves together, and it did feel very Dynamite Kid, Chris Benoit-ish, so that is very cool.
And I appreciate that my work reflects it as well.
Yeah, it definitely does. I wasn't even thinking about that, but now that you say the name and I'm putting the visuals together of some of your matches, yeah, it definitely does. I was actually watching one of your matches about a week and a half ago because you wrestle a lot, it seems like, in Texas. I was watching a match in New Texas Pro where you wrestled Sky Blue during that. I think it was a couple weeks ago you wrestled her. And I really love that match because I've interviewed Sky Blue, had her here on the channel, and just the contrary of styles where she's trying to wrestle and you're just like completely just pulverizing this girl in the ring.
Well, wasn't the luck of the draw for her that night.
No, you put her down. Like, what is the switch that goes on? Like when you step inside the ring that, when you hit, like I saw her chopping you and you're like, yeah. Then you just chop her and it looks like a tree is about to fall down in the middle of the ring.
I don't know. I guess I started wrestling, at 16 and I immediately dove headfirst into it. I mean, every single day for hours and hours for, 2 years, just every single day wrestling. And I guess that's just an instinctual thing at this point. You just go for the prey, how they say.
Okay, now I know we saw you at Mission Pro Wrestling. I know I've watched some matches for New Texas Pro. What are some of the other organizations that you're out there wrestling for?
You guys should definitely take a look at Beyond Wrestling. That is also on IWTV. We're actually having a show on August 5th, I believe it is, where I'll be facing Megan, the Pegasus Megasus, and it's her debut from Beyond. She's coming from WWR. Just wishing her the best of luck, that's all.
Because she's going to need it? Yes, I think we're on the same wavelength there. Now, a lot of people watch these matches on YouTube. I mean, some of them get 20, 50, 100,000 views. And that's great that people are watching those matches online if they can't make it to your local independent show. But what would you say to people who are in the area who aren't coming out to those independent shows for whatever reason? What is your reason why you would tell them they should come and watch this in person?
There are a million reasons, and those reasons are not limited to, of course, coming to see me wrestle and assault somebody. The reasons include to come to have a good time, to expose yourself to pro wrestling. Even if you're not a fan, come on down, because you might be a fan at the end of the day when you leave. And, it's a great environment for everybody. And my advice is bring a beer for me so I can snatch it when I'm coming to the ring because I get thirsty. Yeah.
Have you ever snatched somebody's beer that you did not know in the crowd out of their hands?
Oh, just recently in a match with La Rosa Negra. It was hot outside. She threw beer on me. I threw beer on her. Got a little thirsty.
And did the fan ask for like a refund, or did you buy them a beer afterwards?
No. I'm sure they were just pleased to offer me their beer.
Yeah, it's just the thought that counts in the end, right?
There you go.
Now, when you aren't wrestling, when you aren't training, what are some of the things you like to do for fun in your free time?
Usually in my free time, I'm actually training, going to the gym, obviously, training at Renzo Gracie for jiu-jitsu. I'm trying to learn how to play the drums, and I like to watch horror movies, and I watch a lot of wrestling, and that's about it in my life. I go hiking too. Okay,
any drummers that are inspirations for you?
Man, I just like music, and I really wish I could create it, but I'm really bad at it, so I'm trying to change that.
Okay, practice makes perfect, right?
Let's hope.
Right? Who's your favorite band of all time?
Probably gonna have to go with Kiss.
Kiss? Okay. Why was it Kiss? Is it their music, their persona, the makeup?
Definitely a mix of both. I really love the music. I remember listening to Kiss when I was really young. And I just really, I liked the rock and roll, and then I saw what they look like, and I was like, man, they're the freaking coolest with the face paint and the hair. I thought the Kiss were the coolest thing in the world.
Right, you talk about the face paint. Of course, my favorite wrestler of all time is Sting. So I think it's kind of like one of those things that just draws you in. You've got the attitude, the face paint, the look. It's just Kiss definitely brings the whole package when it comes to you getting your entertainment value.
Oh yeah, and they had some killer fashion sense. I loved seeing Paul Stanley in those freaking 8-inch heel like platform boots. I was like, yeah, I need some of those.
Yeah. Now, if you had to recommend one horror movie for us to check out, what would your horror movie of choice be?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
The original, I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? I think The Shining is pretty like cool in a dorky way, but I think it's great. So I don't know. Go watch that too.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson is my second favorite actor of all time, and The Shining is definitely probably for me also like a top 5 horror movie of all time. It's not even like scary as it is like creepy. It's just such a psychological movie. It's such a great movie.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Jack Nicholson just roaming the halls, terrorizing his poor wife and child for like 2.5 hours. It's a really great movie. Great pick. I do like that one.
Thanks.
Now, obviously, you're training a lot. You're working out. I'm sure you're watching what you're eating. But obviously, you know, you got to have a cheat meal after those big matches. What is like a go-to cheat meal for you?
That's a great question. I'm always in the mood for something different. But, man, I really love sushi. So I remember when we were in Los Angeles, I think I ate like 4 rolls of sushi in like 15 minutes. And, you know, I love sushi. I love burgers, maybe tacos. There we go. You know what? Tacos. Definitely on that list.
Tacos is probably your go-to then?
Tacos and sushi are my 2 like go-tos. Now that I think about it, that sounds about right.
Okay. Now, what does like a normal workout routine entail for you? I mean, when you're working out, is it just like you're just working out, or are you working out specifically to become, you know, better at professional wrestling when you're hitting the gym?
Lately I've been doing a lot more cardio that's not something stagnant like running, which I enjoy, but I'll do a lot of CrossFit style workouts lately. So I'm just doing burpees and step ups and this, that, you know, to do my best to stimulate being in a ring, aside from, of course, going to train in a ring, because that's the only way to get that cardio. But I'll also just lift really heavy weights because I got to lift people up.
And you do. I've seen them just jump at you and you just catch them like they're little baby dolls sometimes.
That's why I got to lift heavy, man.
Yeah. Now, you said you enjoy running. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there any type of like things you've ever competed in? Have you done marathons or Spartan races or anything like that?
I was on the track team in middle and high school, so I used to sprint, and I did long jump. Yeah, that's what I did.
Those are your
and relay.
Okay. Now, what else is there to look forward to in the future from you coming soon?
Certainly no more track competitions. Sorry to spoil that. But y'all can just see me in the month of August. I'll be posting my schedule on Patreon. Cheap plug for that. But that's the only place I post my full schedule for the month of August. And it's going to be really busy. So you'll be seeing me everywhere.
Okay, just that's where to find it is on Patreon. Follow you there.
Yep.
Okay.
Patreon at Masha Slamovich. August calendar coming up. A lot of good things coming up.
Awesome. Now, I do want to ask you about some of the matches that you've had. I don't know who specifically they were with, but like on your Instagram, I was just scrolling through it, and it's like you have no problem like really getting like down and dirty. And I've seen some matches where you've been like covered in blood.
I love to take it to the extreme. You know, I really enjoy pretty much every style of wrestling, and if we're gonna get to hardcore, I definitely love me some of that action. The pictures you've seen were most likely from Pit Fighter X, where I wrestled Kimberly at ICW recently during the Cannabis Cup, and probably also from a match, once again, from Beyond Wrestling against Diana Perazzo, where unfortunately I took a turnbuckle to the face and gashed my lip open.
I'm sure that was pretty darn painful.
You would think it would be, but in the moment you don't realize it, and then you get excited when you believe. At least I do.
So after posting those bloody pictures, what did like your family members have to say about seeing you just like kind of like a bloody mess like that?
My mother thought I was going to get committed to a psychiatric ward. For real, she thought people were going to think I was trying to kill myself on social media, which obviously was not the case. But they all thought I was nuts. They were like, this is dangerous, this is crazy, why are you doing this? You know, they don't understand it.
Now, if people you went to, let's say, high school with, that you haven't been in touch with for, let's say, years, that you kind of lost touch with them, and they looked you up and they saw what you were doing, what would they say about you then versus now?
Oh, that's happened like recently, at least twice. And they say, hey man, we saw that in high school you were training to be a wrestler, and we're happy that you're doing what you love, and you're a psychopath. but they're surprised that I stuck with it, and you know, I'm like making a living doing it, because they just saw me training, and then I left to Japan and they never saw me again.
Okay, so one of my favorite time periods in wrestling was like the WCW, WWF times where there was invasions going on. So I want to ask you, if you were to invade any wrestling company from any time period and you had to take 3 wrestlers of your choice, could be guys or girls, to invade a company, who would you take to have your back?
3?
3.
Wow, you put me on the spot of like not knowing. Okay. That's rough. I don't know how to make these choices, man.
Okay.
I really can't pick. I don't know, man.
You know, okay, so maybe, I mean, I've seen you in the ring. Maybe you could just hold it down on your own and you don't need anybody to watch
I'm
your
like,
back.
I'm gonna invade that shit by myself.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Now, is there anything else we should know about you before we let you go tonight?
There's nothing that you haven't already seen in a ring that I've shown you yet that you don't know. So if you want to keep watching, you know, keep an eye out, because I'm always coming up with something new.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to see bigger and better things from you in the future. Definitely. I mean, just watching your matches, so much potential. I love what you do in the ring, and I definitely see a very bright future for you. Where can people follow you to, you know, keep in the know besides the Patreon?
Y'all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Masha Slamovich. And, yep, I have a Facebook page that I rarely check that is also Masha Slamovich. Yeah, and I also have a Pro Wrestling Tees, which is, once again, Masha Slamovich. And those are all of my socials.
There we go. Follow Masha Slamovich on all her social medias and get some merch as well, right?
Hell yeah. Support indie wrestling.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I love independent wrestling. I love talking to wrestlers like you who are definitely, I mean, you're above the up and coming because you're already there. You're kicking butt out there. I got to watch you finally live, you know, here in Florida, which was awesome, and definitely looking for bigger and better things coming in the future.
Thank you.
All right, guys, if you like interviews like this with Masha Slamovich, make sure you subscribe here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.